Today, I'm going to teach you the exact economics of how to build $1 million a year wholesale business. Because once you understand the math of how to get there, you're going to be able to break it down. You're going to be able to reverse engineer into bite-sized chunks of things you can do every single day, so that at the end of 365 days, you're like, oh shit, I've made $1 million. Okay. But most people fuck up because they have a big goal, like I want to make $1 million a year, but they just fucking bumblefuck around hoping that they get there, which that is retarded. You need to have a direct plan of exactly what to do every single day so that you get to that goal and you're surgical about it. Okay. We want to be a sniper. We want to know exactly what to do every single day so that all those days compound and boom, end of the year, $1 million. Okay. So once you know the math behind how to get here, you'll have a plan of what to do and different benchmarks to hit to ensure that you actually get it. Okay. Now, I actually know what I'm talking about because I started wholesaling in 2020. And I actually got started in May of 2020. And between May of 2020 and December 31st of 2020, I did just shy of $400,000. My very first year wholesaling. And I had it way harder than you do because there was not the same amount of resources. You do not have Tyson on here actually showing you exactly what to do. Okay. So I bumblefucked around, but I still was able to do it because I put in a massive amount of work and I was willing to do things that other people were not. If you're the kind of person who's willing to do what other people are not so that you can live an extraordinary life and not just a normal life, then this video is for you and I want to help you out. If you're the kind of person who's looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, something that's just going to happen overnight without you having to do any work, you're retarded and nothing ever is going to work for you to do that, okay? So if that's you, you're out. This isn't for you. But if you're the kind of person who wants to put in the work and wants to have a plan to follow that'll actually get them the results they're looking for, then this is for you. Okay. So, and by the way, I'm sorry, I completely lost track. Yes, my very first year, I did just shy of $400,000. My very second year, 2021, I did over $1 million. Okay. And then I've been doing over $1 million ever since then. So I know what the fuck to do to get there. I have a plan, and it's all because I'm able to reverse engineer the big goal into the math that actually takes to get there. So what we need to realize is that we need to understand some numbers. Now, I'm going to give you my numbers and you can just kind of copy them. But as you start in this business, I'm going to show you how you actually find these out for yourself so you can build a plan that is accurate to you. But first thing we need to know is your average profit per deal. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let me, the first thing you need to understand is your APD. That is your average profit per deal. Now, my average profit per deal is just shy of $20,000. It's $19,567. But for simplicity's sake, we're going to say $20,000. Okay. Now, if you've been on fucking Hustle Instagram for any amount of time, you know that what we're looking for every single month in order to make $1 million a year is $83K a month. Okay. 83K a month, 83 times 12 equals 1 million. So if our average profit per deal is $20,000, we need to do about 4 of them, just a little over 4 of them a month to be able to get to that $1 million a year. So what we need to understand is how the big question, right? The big thing that we need to understand is how do we do 4 deals a month? Okay. Now, the one way you can do this is just by fucking guessing and just saying, well, I mean, if I work really hard and I make all my calls, then maybe I will get to those 4 deals a month. But no, that's for losers. We're winners over here, and we're going to have an exact plan that will get us there. And so I'm here to tell you that. Once we understand what our average profit per deal is, we need to understand another very important question, which is how many leads do I need to get a deal under contract, and how many contracts, let's see, how do I want to phrase this? What is my contract to deal ratio? Meaning, how many of my contracts fall out? Now, a healthy business is going to be around 80%, meaning 80% of the deals you get under contract, you actually close and they get funded, right? Because we know in wholesale real estate that not every single deal you get under contract closes. Maybe the seller decides to back out and you decide to let them. Or maybe some crazy title issues happen and they have some insane liens and there's just no way to do the deal and they're going to get foreclosed on. Or maybe, You locked the deal up too high, right? You did your underwriting wrong. You have to cancel because you're unable to find a buyer. But basically, we're going to be planning on 80% of our contracts to actually close into deals. And then we need to know how many leads you need to get under contract. Now, this is going to depend on every single different marketing source, okay? So for instance, with cold calling, somebody who's really good can typically close around 1 in 30 to 35 leads, meaning for every 35 leads that a cold caller, like a virtual assistant cold caller, sends over into your system, you should close 1 in every 30 to 35 of them. For texting, somewhere similar, around 140 to 50. But then it can change for everything else. For direct mail, if you're really good, 1 in 10, maybe 1 in 15, maybe 1 in 20 if you suck and you don't have the right systems. For Google PPC, 1 in 10 if you're good, 1 in 15 if you're average, 1 in 20 if you suck. Facebook ads, higher, right? 1 in 20 if you're really good, 1 in 30 if you're average, 1 in 40 if you really suck. So you need to know how many leads you need to get for each marketing source to get that deal under contract. So let's just go ahead, and I'm just going to keep it simple, and I'm going to say with PPL, right? For PPL, I need 10 leads to get a deal under contract. And if my close rate is 80%, that means that I need 5 deals a month, okay? I need 5 deals a month to close 4. And if I make 20K, let's just say about 20K on each deal, I'm making 1 mil a year. Okay. Now, good. We're almost there. The next thing we need to know is how much do I need to spend on marketing to actually generate enough leads to where I can get, right? Because I need 50 leads a month from PPL in order to if I close 1 in 10, I need 50 of them. So I get 5 deals under contract, actually close 4 of those. Boom. So how much is my cost per lead is going to be a very important question. Now, PPL makes it super easy. Let's just say $150 per lead on like LeadZolo. $150 a lead on LeadZolo, okay? So if I need 50 leads a month, so I need 50 leads, and they each cost $150. Hold up, open up my calculator. 150 times 50 equals $7,500, meaning I know I need to spend $7,500 every single month on PPL. So I'm generating 50 leads and I'm closing 1 in 10 of them. And I'm actually, I should say I'm contracting 1 in 10 of them and I'm closing 4 out of those 5 deals and I'm making $20,000 on each. We're making $1 million. Okay. So now you might be thinking, well, Tyson, okay, this is all fine and dandy for you. I don't close 1 in 10. I don't have the same amount of sales experience you do. Also, I don't have $7,500 to throw at marketing right away. Exactly. That's because this thing cannot happen overnight. Okay. A beginner is not just going to walk in, even if they have $7,500 to throw at LeadZolo. And you know what? There's a couple things they're not going to be able to do. Number 1, they're not going to be able to close 1 in 10. Number 2, they're not going to be making $20,000 on every single deal. And number 3, they're probably not going to be closing 80% of the houses they get under contract, because these are things that take time. These are skills, right? All of those different things are skills that you need to build. What are those main skills, right? Number 1 is going to be sales skills, right? Getting better at closing, getting better at identifying the correct person that we need to help as wholesalers, being able to get them to make a decision, whether that's a yes or no. That's your job as a closer in wholesaling real estate. And then being able to underwrite the deal correctly so we know we're going to be able to find a buyer. We know it's going to be a good deal for them. And then being able to negotiate with them so that we get the maximum price out of them, the lowest amount of price out of the seller, and we're averaging $20,000 or better per deal. And then lastly, getting better at real estate, getting better at handling issues, right? Just general problem solving stuff that will help you close a higher percentage of these deals, because deals aren't falling out because of title work. You're able to get the seller back on board. You're able to get the buyer back on board. These different things that will help you close more of these deals, right? By the way, this is all stuff we help with in my inner circle. If you're looking for my help on helping you start your business or help you close more deals, go ahead, fill out the application below to look into joining my inner circle, and I'm going to help you get to where you want to go. But you're going to need sales skills. You're going to need to build real estate skills, right? Guys, fresh off the, your first day in the arena, your first day in the land of wholesaling real estate, what the hell is this? I don't want that. Delete. I want to make this bigger, right? Your first day in wholesaling real estate, you are not going to be an expert at analyzing deals. It's just simply not going to happen. That is something that takes time to do because unfortunately for us, comping, analyzing deals is not an exact science. It's an art. It's something that it's an acquired skill. You have to put in the time. Guys, I have analyzed tens of thousands, right? Maybe even 100,000 properties in my day. So now I can do it really well and I can do it really fast. It doesn't happen for you overnight, right? And then lastly, problem solving skills. Because at the end of the day, this is the biggest thing when it comes to being an operator in a wholesale real estate business. You need to be able to have the seller who's like, motherfucker, I need to get paid. I know you need to extend close of escrow because the buyer, the financial partner, but I need to get paid and this, or I'm backing out. I'm not signing these closing docs. And also there's a lien just popped up and it's $50,000 because they're sold on the property and I didn't tell you about that. And now the buyer saw the assignment because your transaction coordinator accidentally sent them the contract with the prices on it and they know you're making $20,000. Now they're trying to renegotiate, and these kinds of things happen. But guess what? As you get more deals and you start doing it, these things that you got this fucking armor just blocking shit off you, right? You're just dealing, you're just handling. You're just like, hey, seller, I got you. Listen, we had $500 EMD on that. We'll go ahead and release that to you. As soon as you sign those closing documents, taken care of. Hey, end buyer, listen, look, I know that you're upset about this. We're going to help you out on the next one. Look, you're the reason that we sent you this deal in the first place. You already ran the numbers. You know it's going to make sense, right? We'll go ahead. We'll find a different one. You bluff on whatever it needs to be. You handle it with the title company on any kind of liens, whatever. You get the solar thing knocked off. Boom, you're making moves, right? But that does not happen overnight. And also, the other thing is your numbers do not happen overnight. You're just not going to know in 1 second what your cost per lead is, right? Because let's say, for instance, that you are running cold calling, right? If you're running cold calling, and you're doing it at a high level where you have 3 virtual assistants, okay? Let's say you have 3 VAs. Do you guys want me to make a video on where to get VAs? If you guys want me to make a video on where to get VAs and how to do it, whether you want to hire them yourself or you want to use an agency like I do, go ahead and drop that in the comments. I'll tell you. But let's say you have 3 VAs and that costs you $3K per month, because that's about what it'll cost. It'll be a little bit more than that, like $3,200. But let's just say $3K a month is 3 VAs. 3 VAs, you're going to need 30K records, right? You're going to need 30K homes for them to cold call every single month, which is going to be, it's a little bit less than this, but you can get 50,000 skip trace records on the scale plan of virtual flip leads. So that's $500 a month, right? And each VA is going to generate 2 leads a day, Monday through Friday. So we're talking 40 leads a week, or 40 leads a month. So you're getting 120 leads from this, right? So our all-in costs on this strategy right here is going to be $3,500 hard costs of our paying our labor and paying for the data. We're getting 120 leads because they're each generating 2 leads a day. So let's see, 3,500 divided by 120. Calculator again. It's just under $30 per lead. Okay, so if we're paying $30 per lead and all of a sudden we do this, we start to figure out like, hey, I'm okay. I'm not that great. Let's say I'm closing 1 in 40. That means you're going to be doing 3 deals a month because you're closing 1 in 40, right? So 3 deals a month because you're closing 1 in every 40 leads, right? Let me just make sure that you guys fully understand this. What the fuck is this? I need my eraser. Okay, so let me get out my thing. All right. If I close 1 in 40 cold call leads, and I'm generating 120 leads per month, and each lead costs $30, I'm doing 3 deals per month, and my average profit per deal is, let's say 15K, because you're a beginner, right? So you're doing three deals per month. You're making $75,000 a month, and it's only costing you $3,500 to do that. Boom, you got a healthy business. But all of a sudden, you're gonna have to adjust. You're gonna have to move these numbers, right? But the main thing to understand is just, hey, how much does my marketing cost? Right? Here's the main questions you need to be able to ask yourself to be able to do this math. All right. How many leads do I need to get a contract? And this needs to be separated by marketing channel if you're running multiple channels, right? That's the first thing you need to understand. The second thing you need to understand is, what's my cost per lead, right? What's my average profit per deal? And once we know this, boom, we just reverse engineer, right? Because once we figure this out, now it becomes a function of, okay, how much more money do I need to spend to get the amount of leads I need, to get the amount of deals I need to do? Oh, and also, what's my contract to deal ratio, right? How many contracts do I need to close a deal? And once we know this, it's just, okay, I need to be able to spend this much money on marketing. That is going to give me this amount of leads. If I get this amount of leads and I close them at this percentage, and I do, and for every deal I get under contract, I actually close this many of them, and I make this amount of money per deal, I make this much money. And then you're able to forecast, right? And then you just need to start to adjust it and work on different areas to get things better and better so you can get to that $1 million a year point, right? Because you may be like, hey, maybe my sales skills are fucked up and I'm not, it's taking me way more amount of leads than it's taking me 60 cold call leads to get a contract. We know that there's a sales issue, right? Like, you need to come in the inner circle and I'll help you out and teach you how to close deals better, give you an actual sales process to follow so you're not bumble fucking around like a dumbass and burning money, right? Or maybe it's like, hey, so many of my deals are falling under contract. And it's because you're not analyzing deals correctly. You're offering too much, right? And that's where, again, in the inner circle, you have access to my underwriter who will actually analyze your deals for you, tell you what your ARV is, what your MAO is, what your repair costs are, what to offer, some comps to use, everything like that, right? Or maybe you're just having, crazy title issues and stuff. And it's because you don't have a mentor like me who's done hundreds of deals, who's dealt with all these problems, who can help you out. Okay, so if you want those things, you need to hit the link below, apply for the inner circle. But remember, you don't need that if you're ready to go. Like, it's not like you need to join the inner circle to make $1 million a year. All you need to understand is the math of how much money do I want to make, in this case, $1 million. What's my average profit per deal? How many deals do I need to do to get to that $1 million, right? And then go for, on the expense side of things, okay, how many leads do I need to get in order, how many leads does it take me to get a deal under contract? So how many leads do I need? How much does each lead cost me? Okay, I need to be able to spend this amount of money. And then you work your way up to that, right? Because maybe you're coming in without a budget. And it's like, hey, I closed my first deal. Maybe I can allocate some money and I can get halfway there. And then that gets me a couple deals. And then I close those 2 deals. And then boom, I can allocate more money. And then you slowly snowball it up and you get to where you want to go. Okay. But the biggest thing is to understand the math, because other than that, you're just guessing, and that's not what we want to do. You don't want to be the spray and pray guy, because if you do that, you're just never actually going to get to where you want to go. You need to understand exactly what needs to be accomplished. You can work on it every single day to get to that end goal of getting to $1 million a year. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions about this, go ahead, drop them in the comments. If you haven't already, you need to subscribe, because by subscribing to my channel, you're going to get access to the best possible content, guys. If you guys have not been able to tell, look at my last couple of videos. All I'm putting out is the biggest bangers I can possibly think of in my head, the things that I needed to learn when I was first getting started. And that's what I want to give to you, okay? So subscribe to the channel, like, and leave a comment below on what other videos I should make that are going to help you out. And then we'll make those videos and I'll see you on that one, okay?